Now at 11, only on RTV6, a youth sports organization needs help catching some destructive intruders. We have the images they want you to see. Neighbors overwhelmed by the sights and smells in a retention pond. They want to know who's responsible for cleaning up a mass of dead fish. Traffic alert, what you don't see on one side of this video could mean a big change in how you get to work tomorrow morning.
This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
For the second time in a week, a group of people vandalized a Carmel youth sports organization. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Nicole Griffin. Only on RTV6, reporter Graham Hunter has surveillance pictures of the vandals. He talked to the president of the Carmel Dads Club and found out the vandals did thousands of dollars in damage.
Take a close look and see if you recognize anyone in these surveillance pictures.
Maybe somebody might identify one of these people that are involved in these pictures, and we can bring them to justice.
Jack Berry is the president of the Carmel Dads Club, a youth sports organization that's getting ready for its fall sports season next week.
The Carmel Dads Club's been here since 1959. We have over 12,000 kids that play in our programs.
That's who's being hurt by these crimes.
It's unfortunate. Over the last couple of weeks, we've had a couple break-ins with some damage done to our facilities and then some product taken from our concession stands.
The vandals spray-painted graffiti on pavement and on several buildings, and Beery says it's likely the same group that came back a second time.
They went to the same windows to try and break into the buildings and the same places. So, yeah, we think it was the same, probably whoever it was.
They've already covered up all of the spray paint. This window was broken out twice. You can see the granite is still chipped from what they did. All told, Beery tells me the damage is well over $3,000.
This kind of activity is really uncommon around this area, and some of the neighbors did get hit that night as well. And like I said, we just don't want this type of activity going on in our community.
So look again at these pictures. The group is dressed wearing athletic shorts. Most of the people appear to be wearing hoodies, including this guy in a white Champion hoodie with white baseball cap and black sunglasses on. And this person in a red shirt who took his hoodie off at just the right moment for his picture to be taken by the camera.
We're just a youth sports organization that tries to provide a bunch of opportunities for kids, and it was just disappointed to see that it happened.
Working for you in Carmel, Graham Hunter, RTV6.
Graham, thank you. The Carmel Police Department is investigating these crimes against that youth sports organization. If you know who the people are in those pictures, turn them in by calling police. New at 11, RTV6 is working tonight to get answers for people living in a Northside neighborhood who are upset and frustrated about a city project. They say the drainage project, which will help with flooding, is needed in their neighborhood, but they aren't happy with how workers are going about it and the terrible smell it's leaving behind.
I don't know about you, but this smell is getting to me.
Connie King lives in the Castleton Farms neighborhood near 75th and Shadeland. She's the vice president of the neighborhood association. Right now, work is underway on a drainage project that will hopefully stop flooding issues they've had for years.
We do need this project. We need it done. It did need to be dredged because we have a lot of flooding in here.
But her concern is all the dead fish in the pond as they drain the water.
Well, they said they would take out the fish and the turtles and they would transport them into someplace else and to keep from killing them. And they would be humane about it, is what they said. And then the next thing we know, no, we're not going to save any of them. Well, what do you mean you're not going to save them? You know, I mean, you said you would.
She says the smell has been an issue now for days and nothing is being done about it.
I mean, this is a nightmare. I mean, you can smell it. It's going in our houses.
You can't even walk your dog around the lake anymore. I mean, I'm driving like 4 blocks away so I could walk my animal. And you can't even go sit outside or go to the pool. It's disgusting.
Susan Miston reached out to her city-county councilor, hoping to get some answers about why the fish weren't saved. She's also asking what can be done about the terrible smell. Answers she'll have to wait on until Monday.
I just hope they do something pretty quick because our summer kind of stinks.
We've also reached out to the city to get some answers about this project, and we're asking what can be done about the smell in that neighborhood and why the fish weren't saved. The city county councilor for that district just responded within the last hour and says he is also contacting DPW, and he will let us know when he has some answers. Neighbors tell us some people did go down to the pond and save some of the turtles from the water. Let's now get a check of the forecast with Storm Team 6 meteorologist Kyle Mounts.
Yeah, Nicole, wrapping up a pretty nice weekend here across central Indiana. We have had a couple of very light showers moving into northwestern areas. You can see north of Williamsport and south of Fowler. Those will continue to slide to the southeast, but most of us will stay dry, and it will be dry for the kids at the bus stop in the morning, with temperatures staying pretty warm in the upper 60s. We'll be in the middle 80s as the kids are coming home with mostly cloudy skies, but it's really tomorrow night that we are watching that potential for some strong to possibly severe storms. Already that slight risk of severe weather. We'll take you hour by hour through your Monday forecast in just a few minutes.
Kyle, thank you. This traffic reminder could save you from having a Monday morning headache if you use I-465 on the southeast side. Those complete lane shutdowns we've been warning you about are now in effect. We're talking about the stretch between I-65 and I-70. The east and northbound lanes closed Friday night and are scheduled to remain closed until August 24th. Here's a look at that area right now from our INDOT traffic cameras. Crews are doing concrete and bridge work. INDOT says doing an entire shutdown rather than periodic lane closures allows them to get the work done in just 15 days rather than 9 months.
We don't want to be out here in the winter this upcoming year like we were last year. So these patches, these joint repairs will help smooth your ride. They will help us not be able to, be out here doing emergency pothole repairs in the winter time.
INDOT is suggesting several detour routes to help you navigate your way around the shutdowns. We do have that information right now with this story on our website, theindychannel.com. In order to raise awareness about work zone safety, today 120 motorcyclists joined together for the 6th annual Road Construction Awareness Ride. It was hosted by Harley-Davidson of Indianapolis and Road Construction Awareness Corporation. The ride is a way to raise money for work zone awareness and safety while also remembering those who have fallen. This year's ride was dedicated to Justin Nance and his family. Justin lost his life while doing his job last year after investigators say a semi-driver failed to merge before construction and rear-ended a truck in Hamilton County on US 31. A heartbreaking update tonight on the pregnant Anderson mother who police say was shot in the head by her boyfriend a week ago. We've learned Alexis Wasson died yesterday. The mother was pregnant with twins when police say her boyfriend Skylar White shot her on August 2nd. Court documents say White told his mother it was an accident but did not get immediate medical help. Wasson was 21 weeks pregnant when police say the unborn twins were pronounced dead last week. She had been on life support since the shooting, but police say she had no brain activity. White has been charged with murder and terminating human pregnancy. New developments now in a deadly shooting inside a Lawrence restaurant. Police have arrested 18-year-old Jalen Ryle, who's accused of shooting another teen he'd been arguing with inside the Penn Station on Pendleton Pike. This happened Saturday evening. Ryle remained on the scene after the shooting and surrendered to responding officers. He faces preliminary murder charges. Police have not yet released the victim's name. Coming up, the apparent suicide of Jeffrey Epstein is creating a lot of questions. How did he escape the scrutiny of guards and cameras? And how will his victims ever get the justice they seek? And it's a vicious cycle. People in pain need relief, but that relief can often turn into addiction. Up next, new efforts to tackle both issues at the same time. Kyle.
And much of Monday is expected to be dry, but those rain chances will increase tomorrow night. A closer look at those storms coming our way. You're watching RTV6 News at 11.
Months on Nissan Altima.
This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
Despite efforts to try to save his life, the Boone County Sheriff's Office says a 58-year-old inmate has died. Around 11:15 last night, corrections officers tried to help 58-year-old Prince McCoy of Indianapolis. They say he was sweating and complaining of chest pain. While evaluating him, they say his condition got worse. CPR was performed and officers used an AED, which helped him regain a pulse. First responders transported McCoy to a hospital where he died around 5 o'clock this morning. He just turned himself in on August 8th and was being held at the Boone County Jail on a $1,000 bond for probation violation. Tonight, the medical examiner's office has completed its autopsy of Jeffrey Epstein, but says it is awaiting further information to determine a cause of death. Meanwhile, Epstein's outraged accusers say the man who abused them will never see justice. ABC's Rachel Scott reports.
Investigators now poring over evidence and surveillance footage to discover the major breakdown in protocol that allowed Jeffrey Epstein's apparent suicide in his Manhattan jail cell.
Was there a crime connected with the suicide? Was someone paid? Was someone else involved?
ABC News has learned guards were supposed to check in on the alleged sex trafficker every 30 minutes. But sources say that protocol was not followed in the hours before Epstein's death. A source familiar with the federal facility tells ABC News understaffing was a problem and morale low. And another source says the two guards at the special housing unit where Epstein was held were both on overtime.
What the guards do and what they're supposed to do are almost always two different things.
Attorney Bruce Barquette represents Epstein's former cellmate who roomed with Epstein until he was found unresponsive in his cell with marks around his neck less than 3 weeks ago. 6 days later, Epstein was taken off suicide watch. Then Saturday morning at 6:39, he was found hanging inside his cell. Some of Epstein's accusers outraged.
I really wanted him to take up for what he did and to be put in jail.
Epstein's death coming less than 24 hours after 2,000 pages of new documents were made public when Virginia Roberts Gouffre's 2015 defamation suit against Ghislaine Maxwell was unsealed. In her deposition, Gouffre says Maxwell recruited her to be a teenage sex slave. Maxwell, a longtime associate of Epstein, has not been charged with any crimes and has consistently denied the allegations.
The people who really have to be concerned are the ones who worked with Jeffrey Epstein.
Rachel Scott, ABC News, Washington.
Rachel, thank you. Street drugs aren't the only thing fueling the opioid crisis. A lot of people's addictions start with legitimately prescribed pain meds, maybe after a surgery or an injury or to treat chronic pain. Kai Beach looks at a new effort to treat opioid addiction and chronic pain at the same time.
I do suffer from PTSD. This is what it was like every month when I went to the store.
Michael Kennedy knows all about coping with chronic pain.
You can see this elbow. That was MRSA that just jumped around my body.
While vacationing in Mexico, he fell off a third-story balcony, breaking his back, his pelvis, and both of his ankles. He would eventually have to have his right leg amputated.
They told me I was never going to walk again. And I was just in excruciating pain all the time.
To numb that pain, doctors gave Kennedy a smorgasbord of prescription pills.
8 30-milligram oxycodone a day, 4 Dilaudid 8 a day, 4 morphine 60 a day.
Which led to an opioid addiction that almost caused him to take his life.
Thank God I was so banged up on pain pills that I nodded off to one side and my thumb hit the trigger and shot a hole in the ceiling, but missed me.
Now a team of medical professionals is conducting a study with the goal of helping people like Kennedy.
And these will tell us very, very quickly if someone is experiencing stress.
Dr. Amy Wachholz of UC Denver has a goal of treating both chronic pain and opioid dependency together.
Because otherwise patients are struggling with multiple providers who may or may not communicate, who may have different treatment goals related to the outcomes.
Wachholz's study is underway and she's still recruiting new patients. And her colleagues are also looking for new ways to fight this epidemic.
So these are not illicit fentanyl and things off the street. These are prescription medicines that people are taking, and it turns out that they're pretty dangerous. This can become a very problematic issue for a lot of people.
Dr. Naraina Verhabatla with the UC Health Pain Management Clinic says prescribed opioids are responsible for about 40 deaths a day in America, and that there are very few studies, if any, that prove chronic pain gets better with opioid use.
The problem is that we don't quite know how to fix chronic pain, so the word chronic pain can mean a whole lot of things. It really is a matter of kind of digging deep and seeing if you can find the problem and see if you can take care of the root of the problem.
And for Kennedy to finally recover, that meant combining his mind, body, and spirit.
For me to stay clean personally, physical fitness has to be a part of it.
His cure from chronic pain no longer comes from prescription pills, but rather from yoga.
To get out of this, I have to be taking care of myself, and Bikram's the best way that I've found.
I'm Kai Beach reporting.
It's time to get ready for another week ahead of us here, and we do have some active weather that's going to come along with that. Tonight, things are fairly quiet. Storm Team 6 radar, though, tracking a few showers here near the Williamsport area. Had a few more between Lafayette and Crawfordsville. Those are kind of fizzling here, and really expect much of us to stay dry through the overnight hours. 75 degrees right now in downtown, 71 in Bloomington and Kokomo, still 77 in Muncie. We are not going to cool a whole lot tonight compared to the last few nights. Instead, by tomorrow morning, mid to upper 60s to start off our Monday. And as we take you hour by hour through your forecast here, you'll notice quite a bit of cloud cover already in the morning. You notice those clouds out there this afternoon, and we're going to have more humidity in the air tomorrow as well. Temperature for your lunch hour getting to around 80 degrees. We'll have afternoon highs in the upper 80s, mostly cloudy, but notice outside of a stray shower or thunderstorm, really think much of tomorrow is going to be dry during the daylight hours here, with temperatures approaching 90 degrees in Columbus, 86 for your afternoon high in Lafayette and Muncie. That's all ahead of that storm system, and there is a slight risk covering pretty much all of central Indiana for Monday night, and I would say the best chance for thunderstorms is going to arrive after about 8 o'clock at night to the northwest. We're going to take you through this timeline, but really the slight risk of severe weather primarily for some gusty winds. Can't rule out an isolated tornado threat, and certainly some heavy rainfall, frequent lightning with those storms tomorrow night. So here's the timeline. This is things mid-morning tomorrow. We'll have the clouds, again, just a stray shower here or there, but by 8:30 tomorrow night, we start to see some more rain filling in around Lafayette toward Kokomo and Peru. Kind of slowed down the timeline here with TrueCast, though. The stronger thunderstorms, this is midnight tomorrow night. You can see they start to move in after the midnight hour to about 3 a.m., favoring the northern portion of the state. Still may see a few more of those working their way to the south, though. And then on Tuesday, we'll see a few more showers and storms possible, but really much of Tuesday is going to be dry as well. 87 for the afternoon high there. 7-day planning forecast. It does get cooler and less humid by the middle of the week after the rain moves out.
All right, Kyle, looks good. Thank you so much. It's designed to give women a helping hand in an industry that's traditionally been closed off to them. Coming up, we'll take you inside Brave Camp. With hiring Hoosiers, RTV6 is working to link you with employment, career resources, and training. Tonight, we're looking at how girls are building a better world with code. That's the mission behind Brave Initiative. Brave partners with organizations worldwide to serve young girls through their one-week camp designed to build confidence in coding and problem solving. RTV6's Lauren Casey stopped by Brave Camp in the Circle City to see how it is empowering young women here in the technology field and beyond.
I actually am studying Spanish at Goshen College, nothing to do with computer science.
Talia Borum is an Indy native, first stepping into Brave Camp last summer as a newcomer to the technology field.
Before Brave Camp, I had no clue what I wanted to go, what direction I wanted to take. And now, after doing Brave Camp and now doing my internship, I have a clear idea of what my goals are.
As a camper, Borum learned to code a website. Campers think about a social issue important to them, do research, conduct interviews, and utilize creativity and design to then create an interactive website to show this information. Borum created a website with a quiz for users to uncover unconscious racial bias.
And how important it is for technology to be mindfully built, which is a big part of what Brave does.
And really putting yourself in the shoes of someone else and being human-centric when you solve a problem.
Natalie Laterra is the COO of KSM Consulting, partnering with Brave to put on this camp for girls ages 13 to 18 in Indy. She says the skills these young ladies learn at camp will serve them well in the workforce.
Brave Camp is all about empowering young women to view themselves as leaders, both in technology and innovation. So these are absolutely skills that I think lots of organizations look for.
For Borum, the experience last summer was so impactful, she's back this year as a staff member.
As I'm learning about the tech world, there are not a lot of young girls or women that look like me, and I think that's really important for me to be able to empower women who look like me and let them know that there's opportunities in the tech world for them in computer science and whatever they want to do.
That was our Lauren Casey reporting. Brave Camp runs from 9 to 5 for 1 week in the summer. If you want to learn more about the Brave Initiative, how to take part in Brave Camp, and view a gallery of photos from camp, you can go to hiringhoosiers.com and click on this story. We'll be right back with a final check of your forecast.
stvincentcare.com.
Welcome back. 3 young brothers started a business so they could buy toys. It has become so successful, they're now giving back. Corey Rengel introduces us to the brothers and their booming business.
Meet the Gill brothers, 3 boys not even in high school yet who started making candles as a way to make money to buy toys and video games.
We put the wax in a giant pot. We pour it into a measuring cup.
The candles became so popular, the brothers started their own business called Frère Branchot, which means Gill Brothers in French. The candles are now in more than 30 stores, and this fall will be sold on Macy's website. 13-year-old Colin never thought things would take off like this.
I wasn't thinking we were actually going to start a business. I wasn't going to do anything, to be honest.
When demand kept growing, 11-year-old Ryan became a star salesman for the company.
My favorite part is selling it because the more I sell, the more money we get.
The youngest brother, 8-year-old Austin, prefers to make the candles.
I like to pour the candles in the jars.
As the company grows, it's also helping others in need. The brothers donate 10% of their profits to area homeless shelters. Right now, those donations are up to more than $500 a month.
Before we started, me and my little brother will see a homeless person, we'll ask our mom, can we give them money? And then I realized ever since we do that, how will we give a 10% of our profits back to them?
We're always giving back. We're always trying to help people along the way.
The boys' mother, Selena, says the candles have come a long way in the past 2 years.
And that first candle was horrible. First candle was so bad. Now we've perfected the process. I went through a few, bad batches at first, but, we didn't know what we were doing and we're learning. So now that they do know what they're doing, the candles are great.
3 brothers working to improve their business and community while shining a light for others. In Washington, D.C., I'm Corey Rengel reporting.
Very cool. Thank you, Corey. Well, IPS students return back to class tomorrow, just a week into the start of the school year. Today, a special event was held at James Whitcomb Riley School 43. Members from at least 8 different churches in the Butler-Tarkington neighborhood, along with community leaders, gathered to bless the school. Lauren Johnson is the school's new principal. She says this is a way to bring the community together and let families and students know they have a huge support system.
It's a way of bringing the community together. It's a way of showing our children, our staff, our families that they have a lot of support from a lot of people and that there are a lot of caring individuals who will be there for them, who are going to put their faith into action this year.
Today's event is also a way to build a stronger relationship with community members who will help provide resources for those students throughout the year. Principal Johnson says this year's theme and motto, dream big, achieve big, and show your school pride. Great motto, Kyle.
It is, and tomorrow is going to be warm and muggy. We'll have mostly cloudy skies, a lot of dry time in there, and that chance for showers and storms increasing after 8 o'clock tomorrow night.
All right, keep the umbrella handy.
Yeah, some of those could be severe, too.
Thanks for joining us. Good Morning Indiana starts at 4:30. Have a good night.